I'm very sensitive. I get hurt really easily. So Brenton being the tough person that he is, I was just not comprehending how he's just okay with just moving on and just not caring and just saying, you know what, we can always just shut off our phones.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Flip That Switch. I'm your boy B to the Sis Naive, and we are back with another episode. Today's episode I'm very excited about because I think that a lot of people really need to learn how to navigate or need to know how to navigate this, right? And so today we're going to be talking about navigating negativity when it comes to being a social media couple and or a social media influencer. You don't necessarily have to be a couple, but how do you navigate the negativity? How do you navigate when people are attacking you, or when they're saying negative comments, or when they're hating on you, or when they're not supportive of what you are trying to do? So with that being said, we're going to jump right in. But first, let me introduce you to the legendary icons that I have with me today on my show, Brenton and Mirlanda. Y'all may know them from Brent and Myrrh. They have a huge following on social media. They are by far, and I'm not being biased, but they're one of our favorite couples on social media. I'm glad we got connected to them. We've now been knowing them for a couple years now. And we connected with them on social media a while back. I don't even remember how, but all of a sudden we were just talking, and next thing we were connecting. And then of course they moved out here to Dallas from Boston, and we just became friends, and we've appreciated their friendship, and we're just glad that we really are rocking with them because they're cool people. They're genuine. Outside of the social media and the IG and all, TikTok and all that, they are really truly solid people. And so with that being said, I want to welcome them to the episode. Brent and Mirlanda, y'all want to say anything?
Hey, what's going on, guy? What's up? We're super excited to be on this podcast with Brendan. This is our first time actually being on the podcast, so we are highly excited, and we appreciate Brendan for reaching out to us to invite us to his podcast. Because he's been doing his thing for a while now, and we've been watching from the side, but to be actually in the podcast with him is actually really, really, really fun and exciting. Yeah.
Everything Brandon said, literally right back to him as well. Brandon and Destiny, they have been our friends for a while now. At this point, they're not our friends, they're family. I'm just gonna be popping up, knocking for some sugar, because at this point, you guys are family. And honestly, it's funny that we're talking about this topic of navigating, social media, because you guys are a social media couple as well. And I feel like having friends in that space is very, very, very helpful, and it's not talked about enough. And I see why people tend to cling onto people when they meet that other couple or the other influencer who's doing the same thing. I see why people cling to them so much, because it's not talked about enough. It is definitely needed.
That makes a lot of sense. I think that a lot of people, when they get into this industry, they just really don't know what to expect. And so when they're blindsided with that, it's obviously because they don't know what to expect. And, they haven't been doing this. And so definitely appreciate you guys. And to be honest with you, we get a lot of inspiration from you guys as well, because, just being around y'all, we understand and realize that, y'all's viewpoints on negativity and stuff, it just really, it even though it differs, y'all understand that this is what comes with the territory, right? So kind of talk to us a little bit about how you got started with social media, and just kind of your journey on why social media is something that you wanted to really just tap into.
Well, to be honest with you, we got started by luck, I like to say, because we were full-time. Both of us were full-time real estate agent out here in Boston. When we got started, it was during the pandemic. Basically, we were at home. I always wanted to start a YouTube channel for fitness, but procrastination, like everybody else, man. When you started something new, you start to procrastinate. You started thinking you don't want to start from the beginning. It seems like a lot of people, when they think about starting something new, they don't want to start from the beginning. They just want to get to the successful part of it. That's what was going on in my mind. I was thinking too much about it. So I kind of procrastinate. And one day Mirlanda just hopped in and her friend was on the couch and they were talking about, oh, Brent always wanted to start a YouTube, but her friend being the person that always jump into new things all the time, she just got started with a YouTube channel for the both of them, for the girlies.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, if you guys gonna start your YouTube channel, I want to start mine too.
And the reason why we even got on that topic is because my little brother told me he was big on watching the Prince family and stuff like that, Ace family. So he was just like, you guys should start a YouTube channel. And I was just like, what? No. Then me and my friend were on the couch and then we were just like, let's do it together.
Yeah. And then I started my fitness page and they were going to do some girly stuff like makeup, talk about, fashion and all that kind of stuff. Me, I just want to focus on like working out, post my workout videos and all that. And, her and her friend's page didn't pan out to like, be successful, or they didn't want to continue doing it. So she jumped into my ship and like, hey, the Prince, do you know the Prince family? My little brother told me about these couples that's doing couple content. Why don't me and you just use your channel to do couple content just like them? So that's how we got started into doing YouTube. So we started YouTube before we started any other social media platform.
Yeah. And we thought it would be fun since we got engaged in 2019. We made the channel December 2019 as well. And we were like, let's just document our whole wedding
journey experience.
Planning, everything. Like that was the beginning of the channel.
Nice. When you saw your first negative comment, right? How did you react to that? How did you feel about that?
It was like a pit for me.
Yeah, I was mad. I was really mad. But coming from my background in, public school, I kind of used to people nagging me and picking on me and stuff like that. So I never really, people commenting negative, stuff in your videos and being online, it doesn't really affect me as much as if you to say it in my face. So I view online like a third dimensional world. It's like something different. So in my mind, I always think like, what do I look like going back and forth to someone online? I don't even know what that person looked like. It just looked like a fake. It feels like a fake beef to me. So that's why I was mad for her because the comment was about her.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly what they said. I think the first negative comment for both of us it wasn't even that bad. Now that I look at it, I think it was just like, y'all are corny. But when it started being a more attack on me, that's when I was just like, I can't handle it.
Yeah.
And this is why I feel like we handle it differently because I'm very sensitive. I get hurt really easily. So Brenton being the tough person that he is, I was just not comprehending how he's just okay with just moving on and just not caring and just saying, you know what, we can always just shut off our phones. That's his motto, is just like, we could just shut off our phone. And then what they gonna say? Or block them. And I'm like, so we definitely have different perspective on that.
Yeah.
Brenton, what's your perspective on it? How do you
Man, to be honest with you, bro, it might sound cliche and it might sound like I'm making it up, but I kind of welcome negative comments because I feel like haters make you more money, bro. To be honest with you, in my perspective, haters make you more money because they literally keep watching you and they can't wait for your downfall. So, but my only concern and the only reason why I get mad sometimes is because the comment is about Mirlanda. Because I know the comments affect her. So I wish I get more negative comments, but I always tell her like, if you care and if you keep responding back to them, it's gonna trigger something in their mind, be like, okay, I'm actually getting to her. But people who doesn't care don't get negative comments. I don't care. I don't get negative comments like that much. So I think people can kind of sniff out who cares the most and they attack that person the most. That's my conclusion, honestly.
Sniff off is crazy.
It's crazy, but I kind of welcome negative comment. I don't really care because I don't know you. I don't know that person on the other side of the camera or the video. So they're probably going through something. People that have something going on in their life don't really care about commenting negative things on other people's stuff.
Yeah.
They're probably going through something. They want to lash out. They want to give their 2 cents. They want to give their opinion. But to be honest with you, like, I think it doesn't bother me. I think negative comment it's people that's hating and they keep gonna keep watching you, and we know how this social media world works. Yeah, the more eyes that's on you, the better for you. So
Yeah, so
as long you're not doing anything negative, as long your relationship is not negative, or it's not like some negative stuff that's going on in your life, it doesn't matter to me. As long as I'm okay with her, as long as she's okay with me, I don't care what's going on outside of this internet stuff, bro.
No, facts. Yeah. So what's funny is when we got into social media, so we've come a long way. Like I've come a long way as far as like getting tough skin, right? So a little backstory on me, like when I was coming up in school, like, there was stuff called roasting. And like, I would get roasted for like, my complexion or,
Who you
other
telling,
things. And at first I didn't know how to take it.
bro? Right.
And finally somebody was like, man, you got to start roasting people back, right? You got to start roasting people back. And so one day I went to school, this dude who was always roasting, he roasted me and I started roasting him back, just start talking about stuff, anything I can think of. Right.
Right.
And from then on, I got this tough skin. I was like, okay, somebody said something negative to me. Best believe we going to war verbally. I'm gonna come back at you.
Right.
So when it translated to social media, when I saw my first negative comment, it took everything in my power not to come back at that person. And it took destiny to tell me, hey, listen, we can't do this. At the end of the day, we trying to build this thing up. We have a reputation to uphold. You can't allow, they're called keyboard warriors or keyboard gangsters to
Yeah.
affect what we do. You
Right.
know what I mean? And so like, I was mad because I'm like, hey, we need to come back at them. Like they're literally talking about us. I know they don't know us, but they
Yeah.
talking about us. Like I'm ready to be petty today. So I got time today. And so over the years that we've been doing this, I've gotten to the point now where negative comments just don't bother me at all. Like I easily, like if I see a negative comment on YouTube, I can just remove that person. It's just a
Yeah.
click of a button. Okay,
Right.
you want to talk negative, you're blocked. And Destiny too. Destiny has tough skin. She'll see comments now. Every once in a while, we might have time. You know what I'm saying? And if we see something, we might be like, okay, you know what? We got time today, but it's still not going to be um, classless. Our comebacks are very sophisticated. You know what I mean? And so we might come back at you if we have time, but it'll still be in a non-classless way. But sometimes you just in your mode, you don't really have time for the negativity, and you just you got time. But I think for the most part, what we've done is we've understood that, like you said, Brenton, that people are just behind keyboards. That's just what they do. Those are
Yeah.
probably the same people that go on the IG pages and they say negative comments on there as well. And so we don't let it get to us. It doesn't stop the train from moving. It doesn't stop us from trying to reach our goals. And I mean, if we relied on people, if we allow people to comment negativity and stop us, then that's more on us than it is on them.
Yeah.
They don't have anything to lose. It doesn't affect them. It affects us more than it does them. So it's good that you mentioned that. Let me ask y'all this though. So what would you say to somebody that is in the social media space and they're starting out and they're starting to kind of get the engagement, but right now they're also facing that they're not motivated, right? Because of what people are saying to them. Kind of what would you say to them to try to help motivate and encourage them? Because I will tell you this, like us doing this episode, we're probably someone's first encouragement or first motivation,
Yeah.
someone who may be struggling, right? So what would you say to someone in that instance that is kind of in that position right now and they don't know how to navigate it?
I would say
I usually, well, when we first got started into doing social media, I used to get on Mirlanda about this because now that I'm looking at it from where we are now and when we got started, it's actually such a
Yeah.
really good idea to do. And is to kind of not rely on your friends and family member. And that's what Mirlanda did when we got started. She literally went all over our platform and blocked everybody that she knew because she didn't want to hear that negativity. Because when you just getting started into something, you're very fragile, you're very naive, I would say, and any little negative thing literally gonna make you fail or gonna make you stop doing whatever you're doing. So I would say, like, don't rely on your friends and family members to become your audience, because that's not what you're looking for. If they come later on in life, then great. But at the beginning, strangers gonna be more of a stepping stone to get to where you want to go in the industry.
Yeah, and definitely be strong in where this could take you, because you, like Brenton said, you are fragile starting out, or just getting the engagement and then you're getting negative comments that can actually deter you from taking your business, your social media business, to the next level. So I will definitely say that. And I will say what Brenton always tells me is to not look at the comments. Don't look at the negative ones, because sometimes I know I am sensitive. I know how I am, but yet I would literally be scrolling through the comments. I'm like, okay, positive, 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 positive. What'd you say? What'd you say? Oh my God, babe, look what he said. Like,
so you'll see 1,000 positive comments, and then you see the one negative comment. That's the one you target.
Oh my God. Yeah, and then I'm like, okay, next again, next.
Yeah, I would say, like, it's easier said than done.
Focus on the positive.
Just really focus on the positive, and also think about consistency. And think about, like, what you've been taught in society. This is not the norm. This is something away from what society deemed to be, the normal route to success. So, but think about the people that actually made it in life. They're all doing something different compared to what society has taught you. So the consistency, and this, you got to understand, like, this is going to be hard. It's going to be hard because it's something different.
So of course you're going to get negative.
So of course you're going to get some negative feedback. People are going to be like, why don't you just do this and that? But at the end of the day, when you're in trouble, is that person going to take you out of, like, the financial issues or financial trouble? No. So you got to do you got to, like, believe in yourself. You got to stay consistent and believe in yourself, because consistency can take you a long way.
Yeah, it could take you really far. And I know you guys are talking about how you guys are all have tough skin and everything like that, but we are all human, and comments does hurt. It does bother you, especially if it's people who's close to you, like your friends, your family, saying what you're doing is stupid and stuff like that. This is why I did what I had to do. I had to block everyone that I know. Only when you're successful, that's when they will take it serious. The only time I had to unblock them, and I was actually forced to unblock them, is when Shade Room was posting us, Black Love Page is posting us. They're like, hey, wait, I can't click on this page. What is this page? What is going on? Everyone's talking about Brent. Oh, my bad. Let me unblock you. Now, you can't say anything once you're successful. You really can't.
Yeah, now I understand why she did.
Yeah, but I know I'm sensitive. But the thing is, I had to know who I am. And that's why I always say, like, when you're starting social media, know who you are first and then move from there. I know I'm sensitive. I know I take people's opinions seriously. Like my friends going to get their masters, going to, I don't want to feel like not left out, but I don't want to feel like what I'm doing is wrong because what all of you guys are doing is quote unquote the right way. You know what I mean? So that's why I was just like, okay, I need to block all of this out, focus, and then I can you can't say anything at this point. When I unblock you and you say, oh, whoa, you have this page full of this, people are posting you. Okay, you guys are successful. There's no room for negativity there, but.
Yeah. No, for sure. Isn't it crazy how and I've said this so many times, it be our own people that hates against us, and they say the meanest and nastiest stuff. And it's like when you go into other
way. They'll say it in a joking
Yeah. And it's so funny because when I look at other cultures, I'm just like, man, they support each other. They're there for each other. When you look all up and down their comments, they're like, oh my gosh, you were doing great. They're affirming that person. And it's like, when we look at our culture, it's like, why are we doing this? Some people be like, well, why are we doing this? Because all y'all are doing is really demeaning. And when I say they say the nastiest stuff on some pages, when you get, that's the thing, that's the beautiful thing about being reposted. It's like a good and a bad to it. The good is you get the publicity, but the bad is that if you're not ready for the comments, if you're not built for them, it really will demotivate you. And
Yeah.
going viral these days is not as big as it was back when we first started doing this.
Right.
Like
Not at all.
virality has just totally changed. And
Mm-hmm.
so now it's not even worth it to in my opinion to get reposted or go viral because of all, number one, it doesn't really do anything for you, but then number two, all the backlash you get. And
Right.
I get
Oh
what
yeah.
you were talking about, Brent. You said publicity is publicity, whether it's, good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, dang, at the same time,
Right.
it's like if you don't have tough skin,
Yeah.
you're taught that you have to have tough skin, but it's like one of those things where sometimes, man, people will really get to you and they
Yeah.
will make you really rethink this being in this
Right.
industry.
Mhm.
And so
No,
I'm
for
glad you
sure.
guys are kind of telling them how to navigate and overcome that, because at the end of the day, like, this is a rewarding industry no matter
Mm.
what. Through all the backlash and everything that happens, there are a lot of opportunities out here. It's
Mhm.
rewarding, and you can really make a great career for yourself
Yeah.
if you just continue to keep going
Yeah.
and be consistent. And I've just, it's so beautiful that, number one, me and Destiny have learned how to continue to do that because we understand the light at the end of the tunnel and our goals and what we're trying to do. And it's
Yeah.
good that you guys understand that as well. Like, you guys have goals, there's bigger fish to fry, and
Mhm.
you guys are trying to set yourselves up to just have a rewarding life. And so just knowing that can kind of help you overcome, those
Yeah.
things that you go through, or those things that people say.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
definitely appreciate that. It's but our own people, man.
Yeah. It's crazy. And to be honest too, sometimes like I try to be like, for example, when it comes to friends and family, I try to put myself in their shoes. Sometimes it's not so much that they talk trash or they talk down. Sometimes I feel like it's coming from a place of love. Sometimes they're trying to make sure you are doing the right thing, and
Yeah.
the right thing is what's taught in society. So
Yeah.
they don't want, like, for example, like your mom or your dad or your brother or your uncle. They're like, hey man, why don't you just do this, do that, because that's what I know works.
Works. Yeah.
So if you, I don't want you to fail and I don't want you to struggle doing that other thing because they don't know. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it
No,
can
right.
be sometimes where they're trying to protect you,
Mhm.
but sometimes you just have to
True.
let people open their wings to try new
Yeah.
things, do
Yeah.
other stuff.
And that's when it comes to friends and family. When it comes to the regular random people on our comments saying negative stuff, I think those people are just having a bad day. And sometimes I do try to tell myself, you know what? Maybe they're having a worse day than me. That's why they feel like they could just come on here and just talk all kinds of bull. So I
No,
just try to
for
use
real.
that to just calm down. But
Yeah.
it is tough.
Yeah.
It's definitely tough.
No, for sure, for sure. And the last thing I'll say is, if you're, so two things, if you are one of those people, not you guys, but if you're watching this and you're one of those people who does maybe comment some things that aren't as tasteful, I would caution you to do that, because what you what you should be doing is you should be building that person up and encouraging that person, because you never know what that person's going through.
Right.
It takes a
Right.
lot for us to
Yeah.
get out here and create content. The
Yeah.
problem is people think that what we do is easy. They think that
Yeah.
we just pick up the camera and we just upload and then boom, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what they don't realize is that this is work. This is just like the person who's working the 9 to 5, especially
Hmm.
when you're doing all the editing and you're doing all the uploading and you're doing the filming. I mean, we do it all,
Yeah.
and you guys do it all on your end as well. And
Mhm.
so what you should be doing in the comments is continuing to build us up, because I mean, this is work just like the next person. We have to get out here and earn a living just like you do. We just chose a different way to do it. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah. For
And
sure.
so you have to learn how to be nice in the comments and how to support, just like the other cultures are doing. If you go to somebody else's other page, that's another culture, you can get inspo and see what their comments look like. And you want to tailor yourself to be like that, because at the end of the day, like, we're all out here trying to win,
Right, exactly. And I think, like for us, sometimes people just come on the comments. I don't know. Since you're addressing the audience, I would say, like, also before you type up that negative comment, like for us, it's always like, oh, she's way bigger than him. You don't know what health problems a person could be going through. Think before you comment something negative to someone who's, just doing their job, like you just said. Like the same way you wouldn't want to go into work and then your boss or whoever is just talking all types of mess when you're just trying to do your thing. Is the same way we wouldn't want to see negative comments when we're just trying to do our thing, just trying to navigate this thing called life as well. Like it's just in front of millions of eyes.
And to her comment, when she mentioned that, like, some people have said, oh, like she's way bigger than. First of all, she's not bigger than me. I want to put that out there for those of you guys. For those of you guys who's watching this, she's not.
Muscles weigh more than fat or something like that.
She's not. So the thing is, what I'm trying to say is,
I don't know.
Basically, right? We're married. Like, I feel like a lot of people, when they're just trying to like get at you, they're trying to antagonize you and stuff like that. But also, I feel like a lot of people, when they comment things like that, they forgot when people get married, like they forgot those words, or for better or worse, because those same guys that's saying that in the comment, they'd be the same guy that be saying like, oh my God, all she cares about is money. All she cares about is my money. Like, all you care about is size. So, bro, it goes both ways. So the fact that like we're married is different. It's different. We're married for better or worse. And you don't know what's going on. You don't know if it's health problem. You don't know if she's stressed. You don't know. And hormones, all those kind of things. So if you want somebody to love you for who you are, you can't be going people's comments like, oh, she's way bigger than him. And you're going to be the same guy complaining like, oh, she just want me for my money. Yeah. Like, it's just, bro, come on.
No,
Brent just got this.
No, I like that. No, that's true. Yeah, you gotta think before you talk, man, and you gotta be real.
I know. I'm just using our negative comments as an example, but there's so many other people that has negative comments about their appearance, their looks, or anything, or what they're doing, video that's being posted, and you don't know anything that's going on behind the door. So before you comment that negative stuff, you just know you don't know. Yeah.
And I'll even go one further. I'll piggyback off of that. Even to the people that is not intentionally trying to be negative, but you feel like because you've seen so many videos of this person and you've invested so much time, you just feel like you have this one-way access into their lives to be able to say what you want to say. It's like, no, it's like, we put these videos out here for y'all to watch, but that doesn't give you access to our lives. It's the same thing like an actor. You watch, how many Denzel movies have I watched? That doesn't mean I can go into Denzel's DMs and be like, hey, Denzel, I feel like you should have did this different in this movie. Or, you know what I mean? And so you have to be careful, like watching somebody. Yes, you're invested in what they're doing, but it's like a show. It doesn't give you access into their lives. We're giving you a 30 to 60-second clip of what we want to give you, whatever video we want to do, or a 30-minute vlog of us over a week's time period. You know what I mean? We're giving you about 10% of what the total picture of our lives are, And so like I said, I would caution anybody who is that person, just kind of dial it back, because you don't know what's going on in our lives. The only thing you know is what we give you,
Yeah. And I feel like people have boundaries for family members, but when it comes to influencers, they don't have boundaries. You have boundaries for your own family members. We have boundaries too, because at the end of the day, like, you guys support us and we appreciate that, but there's also boundaries that you guys have to follow. Everybody has boundaries. Like, Mirlanda has we married, we have boundaries for each other. But when it comes to influencers, no boundaries. Everybody, everything goes. So I just like to put it that way.
Yeah, that's true.
No, for sure. Well, man, this was good. Thank y'all so much for coming on to the show and really just bringing this to a light that it needed to be brought to, because a lot of people are struggling in this area and they don't know really how to navigate this thing. So you guys coming on and donating your time to this episode to really talk about that is very much appreciated. If you want to know how to follow Brenton and Mirlanda, I'll link their IG as well as their YouTube in the description, so you can follow them. They are a funny couple. The comedy they do is hilarious. You could just tell the love is genuine and authentic with them. And so, make sure you go follow them. Also, make sure you follow us at Flip That Switch on IG, where we post reels from the show. And if you can't watch us, you can listen to us wherever you get your podcast at Flip That Switch. So, Brenton and Mirlanda, thank y'all so much for coming on the episode. And we love y'all, and we're going to see y'all for the next episode, and we out. Peace.
Of course. Bye. Bye. Thank you for having us.